That's my turn.
I'll be
Woo.
teaching you guys how to deadlift. Before we start, who likes deadlift the most out of all three lifts?
Yeah.
Yes.
Best lift.
Me too. Before we start, who, if you, like, you guys do sumo or conventional? I just want to have an idea of what kind of lift you guys normally do if you were to, let's say, max out. Sumo? 1, 2, sumo? Eric? You're a
Sumo always
Jerry?
wins. Yeah. Sumo always wins.
It's only 4 people sumo. Okay. The rest, I'm assuming you guys all do conventional? Yeah? Okay. Have you guys tried sumo? Yeah, let me get some feedback. Who of you guys tried sumo? And go ahead.
I think it's like when I do deadlifts, my back was
Okay.
so after I sumo, I was doing good. My back was straight, but I was not able to lift that weight. That was really too much fun.
Okay.
So then to fix that, I started using trap bar.
Oh, chop bar?
Yeah.
Chop bar is great substitute.
Yeah.
Only reason we can't do chop bar today is we're doing powerlifting. But it's a really great way, a safe way to train hinge movement and a lot more athletic. So if you play sport, that's your go-to for sure.
The sumo one, I think you need more your leg strength. So
Yeah, need a lot of leg strength. Yeah, for sure. Anyone else has tried sumo and don't like it or need feedback from sumo?
Yeah, my hips don't let me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they're not nice for the hip. Right, Pam?
they're not nice for that.
Yeah, so deadlift, I would say, is like one of the lifts that anyone can come to the gym, and they probably could do a plate, maybe a 25. But there's no easy way to pick up really heavy deadlift, right? So we're gonna really touch on like setting up how to deadlift maximum amount of weight. People deadlift a plate, no problem for 20. You put 3 plates, they can't even do it for 1. And that's because they're not setting up. And it's one of the lifts that's the most different from the other one, because there's no eccentric, right? So you have to set up to do the lift, where with the squat, you're coming down, and then you're squatting it up. Same with bench, you're lowering it down, and then you're pressing it up. Where with the deadlift, there's no eccentric movement, right? So you're just going and picking it up, which is why people round their back. So which is why the setup of deadlift, probably more than even bench and squat, is the most important one. So according to IPF, deadlift is good with an optional grip, either overhand, mixed grip, or hook grip, which is really painful. Anyone who does hook grip, I applaud you because I can't do it. You do hook grip? Oh man. And lift it until the lifter is standing erect. On completion of the lift, the knees should be locked in a straight position and shoulders back. So that means no move back, right? Or else your knee will come down a little bit soft, which you don't want to do because you're going to get called out in the competition. Or no hinging. Is it called hinging? No. What's it called? Hitching, right? Hitching, which is coming up. A lot of big guys do it. They can't get it, so they let it rest on their thighs and then try to pick it up. That's not allowed. So some mobility consideration is hip joint, lumbar spine, and injury history. So hip joint will all depend choosing which lift. So like you said, you can't do sumo because your just hips won't allow you, right? There are certain people, their hip mobility is not as strong as some people, which is sumo might not be an optional, but maybe a narrower sumo, right? Because when people think of sumo deadlift, they think like super wide, right? You can do an alternative where it's a little bit closer. Lumbar spine, in terms of your back position and injury history, if you've had lower back pain, conventional puts you in a little bit forward position than a sumo. So if you're able to go to a sumo position, maybe that will be a better option because of your spine position and then injury history, which we talked about for lower back. Sumo or conventional. So the similarity between those two lifts is that you're creating tension. So no eccentric phase for both lifts. So you're coming down, creating the tension that you would do for both lifts, and timing of the lockout. So they're both locking out. I would say for most people, you're going to lock knees and hip. Same with the sumo, knees and hip. So the timing of those lockouts will look very similar. The difference would be the range of motion. I would say sumo is about 20% less, which is why most people like it, like me. My sumo is about this much. My conventional is about this much, right? So your range will get caught by a lot, which will make it a little bit easier. And your stance, right? Sumo will be a wider stance. Conventional will be a lot more narrow stance. And your leverage. So what mostly you're using for each lift could differentiate a little bit. With sumo, you're using a lot of quad and lower body strength. Where conventional, you're using a lot more upper back strength, which is why the setting up of your upper back will be really important, or you'll find that your upper back will round a lot. Again, we'll talk about why some rounding is okay and some rounding is not okay. So how do you choose between sumo or conventional? So first thing is, no one should do sumo before they learn how to do conventional. Conventional is a lot easier to learn, and everyone should be able to do conventional. You might just have a preference of doing sumo. So once you've learned how to do conventional, and you master it, maybe try sumo, and maybe that might be a better lift for you to excel in terms of putting maximum amount of weight. That aside, hip structure, which we talk about in terms of your hip, there might not be enough ability to drag your knees out. Some people I see going to do sumo, they feel like they can sumo, but their knees are literally caving in. They either are not setting up properly to get their knees out, or they just don't have the hip ability. Limb length and height. Again, this is some genetics play a part. They say that long legs, short torso is a lot better for sumo, because in conventional, how are you going to get to the bar if you're really short and really long? But I see some people that do it. So there is some reference in terms of height, but I always say try conventional, try sumo long enough to see if you like it or it doesn't work for you. And muscular strength and weakness. So there's some people that have really strong upper back. You're going to pull a lot of pull in conventional. There's a lot of people that have strong quad. Maybe they play sports, they do some sprinting. They might really be really good with sumo. And then experience. So like, what kind of experience have you had? Have you done a lot of like trap bar? Have you done a lot of like quad strength exercises in the past or sport? You might be stronger to do one lift over the other. All right, so setup-wise, really important. So you want to get into your stance, whether you're doing sumo or conventional, and really placing your foot into the ground. So I'll go through conventional first. So you want your feet above hip width. Again, you can play around, but I see a lot of people conventionally like this. That's not conventional deadlift. So but hip width, depending on how wide you are, and you want to really drive into the floor. You're gonna bring yourself to the bar. What does that mean? Not bending over to the bar. Bring yourself to the bar to the position you want to come up, right? If you're coming down like this, you're more likely it's going to come up like that, right? So you finish where you start. And then you want to grab the bar, whether it's head grip, overhand, underhand. Once you get yourself into the position, grab the bar nice and tightly, and then you're going to create lots of tension by loading your hips, your hamstring, and your quads, and getting tight in the upper body, right? So a lot of people come down to do conventional, they grab it, their legs are nice and loose, they squat maybe too low, and then what happens? Right? How many of those have you guys seen at the gym? Lots, right? So we want to make sure we're getting in position. We grab the bar. I like to tell my clients, like, your arm's kind of like a band, and you want to stretch the band in your hand. So grab the bar, get nice and tall until you feel the tension in your hamstring and your quads and your glutes, getting that chest nice and high and driving your legs into the floor. So don't think of a deadlift as a pulling motion, which I hate it because everyone's like, oh yeah, I'm going to pull today, I know with my boys, but it's more of a pressing motion. So you want to press your body into the floor as you're coming up with the weight. Once you grab the weight, it's like one unit with your body. You're just pressing your body into the floor and standing up. Would you like to lift the bar like that? All right, let's watch my dad. A conventional. Okay, before I ask you guys, one thing he did terrible was he talked was no focus there. What else did you guys see that he did incorrectly? Watch it again.
Can you take all the slack off the bar?
Okay, that's right. So take the slack off. Yeah. Yeah, kick the bar a little bit. So hip position for starting for deadlift. All depends on the person. Some people might be efficient here. Some people might be efficient here. But wherever you start, which is going to be your sweet spot, you gotta start there and finish there. So some people start too low, and as soon as they start moving, hips comes up, and then chest comes up, which is going to be all back, right? So wherever your strongest position is, that's where you're going to finish. But your hips shouldn't be shooting before your upper body, so everything should be moving together. Anything else that you guys saw here?
This may be related, but I think, yeah, it was too far on the front.
Sorry? The
Bar
bar,
was
yeah,
too far out.
he kicked it, yeah. Very common. And his head was tilting, was looking out to the side, as you guys saw that. So again, you want to keep your spine straight, right? So since your head is tilting this way, or too down, or too far up, is not the most ideal way to lift. Let's watch the next video. Here's Killian had a terrible conventional.
Yeah, but my delts look great though.
Don't worry guys, we fixed this already. Alright, we want to do it one more time. Alright, what do you guys see here? He'll demonstrate on the floor.
I think he's really trying to sell the fact that he's leaning back, he's got his shoulders back.
Yes, he really is.
I really am.
So remember, we talked at the beginning, the deadlift just needs to be fully erect, right? Anymore, which I actually used to do it in real life, anymore is unnecessary. So why waste your energy? You can save that for your next lift. So just go only to where you need to be, which is fully erect. And it's safer. You're not putting any pressure on your lower back. Anything else that you guys saw? Was there any focus in that setup? Like, was there even setup? Like,
Grip it and rip it. Grip and rip.
yeah, he did the grip and rep, which sometimes works here, but it doesn't work that far.
It's just his screw.
Yeah, he didn't create any tension in the upper body, right? Yeah, you're completely right. His chest is completely down. He didn't even try to make effort to get a little bit more upright. He's not lowering his legs. So when he starts, can you just play it one more time? His hips shoot up first, not loading the legs. So initially with the sumo, you want to set yourself, load the leg, press, and stand up, not just curling it, right, with your upper back. Alright, next video. Okay, so common mistake, hips are too low or high. Again, there's no right or wrong position for hip. It all depends where you started and how it finishes. So there's a lot of people, especially Olympic lifters, start conventional on this position, but they finish really strong. Maybe not the most optimal way, but they are actually finishing in the right position. Rounded up upper back. So I put a question mark there. Some rounding the upper back is okay, as long as you actually set yourself in that position. So Killian explains it really well. So like pointing your lats. So this is more of my rounded back when I start, especially in a conventional deadlift, but you're finishing there. So you're not going from upright and you start pulling the bar and you go around. Then there's no tension, right? So if you're gonna keep tension and the upper back is slightly rounded, but holding in that same position as you come up, that's fine. Kelly, you wanna explain that?
Yeah, so a big thing that we're going to talk about, especially on the floor, is that in deadlift, our back doesn't get tight through retraction. We're not getting tight through here. We're getting tight through depressing the lats. So when you see a rounded upper back like your dance was explaining and it's active, the back itself isn't rounding, it's the shoulder is protracted. So my back, if I stand up, it's a little bit more clear to see. My back isn't rounding forward. My back is fine. I'm pushing the shoulders forward. The back is flat. This is called protraction. So if I stand here, get my back nice and tight, and drive my shoulders forward, I just have really long arms now. From
Which is gonna be
here,
great.
I can lower down, reach the bar, and I can pull for what seems to be a rounded back, but it's an actively protracted shoulder. I discussed with a few of you, this is a very strong position for the shoulder. Imagine a boxer throwing a punch. I'm strongest out here. So active protraction versus rounding of the back itself.
Yeah. A lot of people will try and set up like this and then go into rounding, right? Then that's where some pains and positions. Did you said you have a question? No? Okay. Rounded lower back. That's where there might be some problems. So if you want as neutral position as you can, especially up here. So if you're going from neutral to rounded, then you will definitely experience some pain. That will all be solved if you're just contracting and really bracing, right? So the way we talked about was squat, really creating tension all the way from the upper body all the way to the hip by bracing and breathing into your diaphragm. Bars roll away. That happens a lot. Sumo, conventional, especially conventional, when people come set up and they go really fast, they kick it, the bar goes away from them. Anytime the bar is away, even an inch from your body, it's gonna be way heavier than it actually is. Which is why it's very key when you're doing your setup, you're pulling that bar into you, keeping it close as you load your leg and not letting it roll away from you. Or else now you have to roll it back and then pick it up, which is a lot of wasted energy and it's impossible. Knees over the bar. A lot of people, so the shin, I see it a lot, especially in conventional. The bar is here, and your knees way over. Where are you loading your leg? More in front of your foot, right? You want to load more into the heel so that you're able to load the quad and hamstring. Or else, if you're on your toes, you can't feel anything here. And then what takes it? Your upper back, and then you hurt, then your lower back. Lockout fail. So a lot of times people are like, oh man, gotta work on my lockout. I'm gonna hit that hip thrust machine all day, every day, trying to improve their lockout. Usually, 99%, if not 100%, lockout fail happen because your back position is not in the right place from the starting of the setup. So just the way Killian was doing it over there in that video, if you put on another 20 pounds, you probably wouldn't have locked out that weight. Because if you're starting in a rounded position, how much harder is it to lock out from this position than if I was to be in this position, right? I'm a lot more upright, my hips are now closer to the bar. When I'm more rounded, now the bar is way further away from me because my hips are here and the bar is here. Now I have to actually like literally drag it to my hip. So lockout fail usually you have to work on your setup and your back position more than your glutes. This has nothing to do with your glute strength. And here's the sumo deadlift. But again, I don't know if I take my time setting down. I get to the bar, I don't just come down, right? So I'm trying to maintain as much upper back tightness. And I take the slack off. So if you guys notice, I try to take the slack off and then I come up by loading my leg into the floor. We'll do it one more time.
Are your shins touching the bar when
Yes.
you wake up?
Yes. So that when we talk about bars rolling away, you want to keep that bar like as close as you can. Like literally, you want it to be part of your body. Anytime it's a little bit away from you, you're losing tightness and you're adding more weight onto the bar now. You have to bring it back to you and then lift. So close from the start all the way to the top, the bar should be touching you. We kind of touched on this one. Most common fail usually is lockout or sometimes just a little above the knee. And again, usually, when are they failing? Their back is doing this. It's very impossible to get it up, right? So again, what do we need to work on? Set up and rounded back position. So getting neutral position from the start and creating tension in our lower body so that we're not getting a position where we're going to fail the lockout. And we're going to go on the floor now. I guess most of you will be going through conventional, but we'll get to try some sumo, so that maybe that might